What is up, everybody? I am Ball Python Love. We're at the BPL show like normal, like every night. And tonight's special guest is BreedLoveReptiles, brother. If you want to introduce yourself.
How's it going? My name's Andrew, BreedLoveReptiles from Southern Oregon. How's it going, everybody? I'm stoked to do this.
Hell yeah! Do you before we get started and all that, would you like to tell everyone what you do, what you got?
I breed, well, I'm pretty fresh into it, but I breed ball pythons. I dabble in a little bit of Brazilian rainbow boas, leopard geckos, my girl does. I have some hobby pets. I got some chondros, green tree python.
There's a reason I'm laughing. There's a reason.
Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Well, we should talk about it because it's a good thing. It's a good point. So you learn every day. And I got my chameleon. I got a couple pets, and but mostly I do ball pythons. I love it. That's where it started, kind of. So
sweet.
Love it.
So to bring that point up real quick, you said what again? And then I was like, I never heard of that snake. And then you're like, that's the tree python. I was like, fuck, dude. And I was like, scientific names.
Yeah, like I said, and that's branching off into what else I was telling you about. Is like I'm absorbing this stuff at a different age than I probably should have been when I was younger, just absorbing it. Now I'm learning things that I held on to that. Green tree pythons are they're chondros. So I spit some facts on you, and I said chondro instead of a green tree python. And you were like, wait, what is that? And I'm like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to fool you, but I was just trying. I don't know any other scientific name to any of the other animals I got. I'll tell you that right now.
That was real. That threw me off, dude. I was like, never heard of that before.
Let's see.
But you're good friends with Shane. So if anyone, what's up, Ball Python Love Jr., HMP? Did I lose you? I think I might have lost him for a second. He'll be back. He has the link. Oh, I hear something. Maybe he's back.
Hey, you hear me? Am I back?
I hear you. I don't see you.
I don't see me on the screen either. Let me check the camera. What's going on here? But you can hear me?
I could hear you. If you want, you might have to actually back out and refresh.
I'll back out and refresh. I'll be right back.
Sweet, man. I'll wait. So if we're in the house already, if you could smack that thumbs up button. I see people just smacking the thumbs down. That's cool. That's not going to stop me from doing my show. If anything, that's more motivation. Thank you. It took your time to come and thumbs down my shit. So I appreciate you guys being losers or they're doing that shit. Appreciate it. Thanks for clicking and wasting a couple seconds. I hear you now.
Cheers, by the way.
Cheers, brother. Oh yeah. So yeah, dude, that's fucking awesome. You and Shane know each other because I didn't know that until earlier today. And what's up, CSL? And Shane was like, hey, yeah, dude, we're actually partners. I was like, what? So
what was formerly Rad's? Yeah, what was formerly Rad's Pythons, and then some things happened, and then we just kind of branched off, started doing our own reptile thing, but we kept doing the rat thing together, and it's been good. No, he's helped me out a lot and just building stuff and gaining knowledge. What is it? When I first got my green tree, my chondro, I was calling it a bioc, and it's a bioc. That Shane told me, he's like, no, it's not a bioc, bro. So I think they call it bioc. I'm like, all right. You learn something every day. No, but it's cool to have people like that. We all have our own collection. And Conrad has his, but every week we get together and do the rats, and we're able to talk about what's going on, situations. His house, his ecosystem's different than mine, his breeding's different than mine, but it's cool to hear the different.
Yeah, I mean, not to bring up the whole rats thing, but I mean, I remember a few videos of just, I mean, racks upon racks upon racks had a little fucking, if I'm right, like a little miniature warehouse thing going on, like
Of the snakes or the rats?
the rats.
Yeah, that was at the old place, and then we moved it here, and it's got a little bit bigger than it was back then in that shed. Yeah, it's bigger than that now.
How many rats are you producing a month?
Ooh, a month, dude. It's hard to say. I mean, at any given time, are like, dude, I don't know. The numbers, I don't know. We never really kept like a count like that. But I mean, at any given time, if we're not pulling from our feeder trough, like we have a metal trough, in maybe like a month, we'll have probably like 60, 70 smalls, 80, dude, shit happens with rats, dude. They are gross ass creatures. Like one day they'll be like 60, and then the next day they'll be like 4 less because they eaten and all it is leather. And you're like, what? Dude. But
what's up, Keith?
It's actually not doing too bad. Like it's hard. It takes a lot of rats to feed a lot of snakes. I mean, that's as simple as that. I mean, it sounds easy and they grow good, but if you have a lot of snakes, you got to have that many rats.
HMP, really quick, are you asking me you want to be on the show again next Monday, or the other owner of HMP next Monday?
HMP, thank you. And I think his name's Will, and I feel so bad. We and him, I talked. He's awesome, man. He's a good dude, and I thank him for shouting me out on the show when you guys were talking. I ain't talking for 4 hours tonight, but I did what he was saying.
Well, we didn't go 4 hours.
No, he was saying he told you, man, that guy, he'll talk for 4 hours about reptiles. You don't even have to say anything.
I love I love talking about it, man. I love gaining knowledge of how people. I mean, because everyone keeps their like just ball pythons are different. When it comes to other snakes, everyone has it. If you live in Florida, your humidity doesn't probably need to be as high as if you're somewhere dry like Nevada in the summer, where it's dry heat. Since you've been up here and you've been to, shockingly, of all places you name, Lovelock, and
yeah.
and then of course said Elko, but like it's different, you know what I'm saying? So learning how other people do it, and sometimes what you learn helps you along the way. And sometimes go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. What does your reptile room usually say humidity wise?
Right now I have everything in the living room, so no AC's going. It's probably about like 78 degrees in here, 80 around there. It gets pretty fucking warm when drinking, and then I go to the bedroom, close the door, turn on the AC that's attached to the outside window, so I'm not using the AC throughout the whole place.
Yeah. Oh, you're still having to run an AC right now?
I get hot, dude. It could be like 30 degrees outside. I still run that shit.
Yeah, I sleep hot too. I definitely do.
What's up, man?
Yeah, my room's staying at least close to my chondro and close to my chameleon. It's like close to 50%, but I missed everything all the time. I don't mess around.
Pause the new Dexter to join. Appreciate that. BPL Junior wants to know your opinion. What is the most venomous snake?
Me?
I don't. Yeah, he's asking someone, so I'm taking you're the guest.
Australian. Wasn't it like the blacktail in Australia is pretty damn like top 5, or the black ring, or what is it?
What's up, Isaiah?
Dude, I don't know venomous snakes, but I'm trying to think the brown snake or something out of Australia. I'm only doing that. Yeah, I don't. He might know more about venomous than I do. I don't mess with venomous. If I was gonna do venomous, I'm doing local rattlesnake.
If it's, I don't know, like yield for yield, right? So king cobra can now like it has a lot of venom glands, so it can pump a lot of venom. But then you got smaller species that could fuck you up just as bad with less venom. So I don't know. They could go either way. Like green Mojave, I wouldn't want either one. The green Mojave in the U.S. is one snake I don't want to get bit by. I'll tell you that. that's where I live on the West Coast. So I mean, that's all I pretty much the only one I got to worry about. I mean, I'm not worried about the Great Basin. So still probably put up a nasty bite, but Black Mamba scares me. Keys is all life, bro. Life. Don't get tagged.
Yeah,
No, I go.
being into more snakes and stuff and being more intrigued to like rattlesnakes and stuff. Man, I hunt for elk early in the summer, like late summer in August in Oregon, and there's rattlesnakes
Nice.
around here. And now that I'm like more like looking for, I'm like herping. I'm getting older. I'm looking for the animals, but I'm also like shed hunting, which like you look for their antlers and shit. I'm like a little explorer, and I'm fucking like herping and shit. But if I see something like, dude, you know how many times I've been looking at for the deer or the elk, and the rattlesnake could have been blasting me, dude, and like. I know it doesn't happen that often, but damn, I'm way more cautious at it because they're out here in the summertime, especially around some of the areas I hunt around rock cliffs and stuff.
Hmm.
Dude, this snake.
Dude, that's about it. What about trapping? You go trapping?
Trapping? No, I don't. I actually went to go get my license to do trapping, but man, it's a lot of work. I mean, if I were gonna do it, it'd be like reptiles or any other hobby I get into. I gotta jump into it. Like I gotta jump in full board. And there's a lot to learn and a lot of cool, like it's all cool and knowledgeable. But I don't know. I got a sensitivity for animals. I have no reason to like trap a cool ass fox or like something like that to just take the skin off and try to sell it.
I'm
'Cause,
just
I mean,
asking because you said you hunt, so some people trap too.
Oh, I'm not against it. I love the shit. I'm not saying that if I didn't, that's what I was about to say. If I seen like a cool ass fox or a bobcat, I'd probably shoot it with my bow and just skin it and keep it for myself. But I couldn't like be a trapper and actually like get good at it and stuff. And then the daily just taking out these cool ass animals. I don't know. The older I get, I find value in the animal being alive more than dead. I love hunting. I love to eat meat. Like it's a weird thing. As I'm getting older, it's a weird tug at it. I don't need to kill the animal I'm going to shoot a big buck or a nice buck, but I have more patience now because of the value is different. Like, I don't know, the lives of, just like we were talking about having rats and snakes, there's a value in the rats. You got to, in there
Correct.
Is the same thing, you start learning value even in the prey.
Correct. HMP, I did see that, and sure, yes. For the other owner of HMP, my wife Angelica. Hello, baby, love you. And what's up, Derek? How you doing?
I can't even see the chat. I hit the chat and it went black last time.
But it's 7 in the house. If you guys haven't already, smack that like button, share the shit out. I appreciate it. And so yeah, dude. I mean, we were talking about most people think because I talk a lot of shit in my feeding videos, like a lot of shit. Like I'm like, got that shit. That's my catchphrase. I do the love lock, all that shit, right? But at the end of the day, like I really do treat my rats golden. I've actually made I made a whole breakfast, like eggs. I gave them pasta. Like I made a nice breakfast. Like once a week, or twice a week, they get treats. Like I'll give them raspberries. I'll give them, grapes when they're in season, strawberries. I'll also do broccoli, shit like that,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. I'll do the feeding videos and people are like, how sad? And I'm like, so quick to be like, don't worry about it. It's just the way of life. But at the same time, I'm like, but it's the same way as like, dude, I love my rats. Like I said, when people come over, they see the reptiles, they're all tripping. I'm like, yeah, I got rats. And they're like, what? Disgusting. I take them out there and then I pick up the rat and hand it to their kid. And they're like, what? And I'm like, no, you could take this home and probably take it as a pet and it'll be friendly. And be a cool little pet. I heard rats are rad pets.
Yeah.
And then I have a bunch of them. I just don't want to bring them into my house. And my daughter like, look, can we have a pet rat? I'm like, hell no. We got a bunch.
No.
You can go out there and love on them out there. But as soon as you bring a rat into this house, every time I open these tubs this time when the rain's going or anytime, those females are going to be popping out like, Dad, what's up? What's up? Who are you feeding without me? Who are you feeding without me?
Right. I feel you. Because every time I'm doing like a live feeding video, and my wife, you could hear her sometimes in the background, like, and she'll start laughing, like giggling, like I'm like, I look at her, I'm like, what the hell? And she, like, she'll just point, and like you can see everyone else coming up to the front of the tubs, just like, who are you feeding? Like, I'm ready too. I'm like, oh shit, like I can make video like for every day, but I pretty much just film one, and then the rest I don't.
Are you talking like YouTube shorts?
No, just content video. Like sometimes I'll show the whole thing, some like of it eating the whole rat. Sometimes I won't.
Yeah.
It all depends. But
I used to do
I've
like
got
the feeding reels like on Instagram and stuff, but I find more just like getting the snakes like in their natural. And honestly, most of my reels when I'm with my snakes now, I'm being more like I'll touch their heads and I'll like do things that you might not notice, but most people are like, wow, that thing ain't head shy at all. Like, whoa, look at that. Like, there's ways of like doing things and showing, like maybe people don't see what I'm doing, but I'm trying to, without saying it, like, dude, look at, I'm holding this ball python by the chin and by the top of the head. It's actually resting its chin on me. I could probably stick my finger in its mouth and it probably wouldn't even chomp. I don't do that kind of shit, but I want everybody that has a fear of snakes to not have the fear of snakes. I'm not telling them everyone has to own
oh
one
yeah,
or have
oh yeah,
one, but I just want them to know that they're not slimy, nasty creatures. And there's children that most of my snakes are so less head shy because of my girlfriend's daughter holds them so much, and just like they're not head shy. She plays with them. She gives them more time than I do. I give them the provision, like food, water. I'll hold them once in a while, do what they need, take care for them. But she'll sit on her phone, and just have them in her lap or wrapped around her like a backpack strap, playing on her phone. And they're content as can be, like, oh, fresh air, out of the tote, or out of the tub, living the life.
oh yeah. Two things real quick. One, HMP says go subscribe to his YouTube channel,
Oh, I will.
and
I need to get better on that on the YouTube side.
have you subscribed to Ball Python Love?
Yeah, I did. I did last night.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. I
Yeah, I need
appreciate
to
that.
follow. Yeah. I'll be the fifth thumbs down, so just to fuck with you. No, just kidding.
To be honest with you, there's 7 thumbs up and 16 thumbs down.
Wow.
It's all good.
Hey,
Like I said, people come in here, they got time to waste to hit that thumbs down button. That's fucking cool. I mean, it's not going to stop me from doing my show every night. I'm sorry. Like, what it comes down to is like, I want to do me. I like doing interviews. I like hanging out, meeting new people, doing the reptile thing. It's cool. I enjoy it, man.
I
Like,
wasn't even reading.
I like we were talking behind stage, like, you were like, it's crazy because HMP's in Florida, I'm in Reno, you're in Washington, and like how we all though become Oregon, and how we all become like I was thinking about the Oregon Ducks and I said fans, but friends, and like it's great, dude. Like I think meeting new people, getting their names out there, even if your name's famous, like just hanging out, getting the chance and opportunity to meet everybody, like it's great. Like you meet some crazy people here and there. You meet a lot of cool people.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, man, not YouTube makes it so easy for everybody to be like a TV star and stuff. But everybody, even if you're good as hell at it, you're gonna have off days. You're gonna say bullshit. But it's the people that actually like follow you and want to hang and like are into it that actually will be like, oh, down day, who cares? I mean, I know the high end, like, big dudes on YouTube that do videos, and sometimes I'm like, man, I'm gonna stop watching for a couple weeks. This shit's kind of getting fucking boring and weird. Not everyone's perfect, but it's not like I hate on them and thumbs down the video when they're having a bad day. I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't have the time for it. I mean, the thing, it's all reptiles. Like, unless you see something that somebody's doing like hurtful or bad, then
I
I don't
agree.
know.
I mean, honestly, as long as my reptiles and my rats are doing great and I'm doing great, there should be no reason of people coming over and doing shit like that. If you hate me for a simple reason because you just don't like me for a fact, like just say it. Just be like, hey, okay, and then just say your piece. you know.
Yeah.
Not gonna hurt me any. I'll see you on tomorrow's night.
Yeah, I'll see you on the next thumbs down.
I'll see you. Yeah, I'll see you every night starting tomorrow again.
Yeah.
Like,
damn, they were trying to get backstage too, I guess. They were backstage just like you. That's crazy. Yeah, that's funny. I know I fed all my hatchlings today, and I'm tripping because none of the females ate, and now they're all just like all at the front of the tub, and I'm like, you little son of a bitches. Now they want it.
So you said you want to show off a few of your steaks, and
Yeah, I
what
could
do you want
throw.
to show off?
Yeah, these females I can. They haven't fed,
gonna-
so there's.
I put you on solo so we get a bigger screen.
This is a hidden gene Woma yellow belly. This is from this last clutch. These are only a couple weeks old.
Yeah, it's weird, dude. It's opposite when you're moving on camera.
Yeah, it's hella hard to do. It's like learning how to, dude. It's like driving an RC towards yourself, you know. But this is a cool little female, dude. I'm horrible.
Oh yeah.
But there's another female here that's really heavy pastel. The pairing was a pastel to a banana specter hidden gene Woma. And he's all whited out. I could show you the pairing, but someone gave me a cool idea on the Instagram to name this one Sublime.
That's pretty. Pastel what? Or just pastel?
I'm thinking it's pastel yellow belly.
What's up, Shane?
The size. Is Shane on here?
He just popped up in the chat.
Tell Shane what's up. I can't even see the chat.
I just put it up there.
Oh, what's up, dude? But yeah, this is a beautiful pastel female. All of my males, though, they all came out.
He has a question for you.
Fuck you. Hey, I haven't had enough beers for that, Shane. I'll tell you that right now. She ain't even nice. And the sad part is I could pull her out on the hook, but I just don't enjoy it because at any moment she's gonna strike me. Ask Shane. Shane had a nice little bleed from that female.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah. And then Conrad had a real good. It hit him on the top of the head. And yeah.
Well, damn, where'd Shane get tagged?
I think he got tagged. I think Shane, it was in your hand. I think between but it was a good one. I know he was pretty tagged. He sent it because I wanted her, and he was like, "Well, she just fucking slammed me," and he sent me a picture of him just bleeding. And then I went down to go get her down at the shop, that Prime in our local shop, and Conrad of Rad's Pythons had it, and it fucking tagged him right on the top of the head. I could hear the teeth like pull his scalp and his hair. I was like, put her in the bag. I held her after he did that. I held her right before my hand. I was holding her, and then I'm like, all right, she's starting to like target, and I'm like, all right, let's just get her out in the bag. And as soon as he was about to, it tagged him right on the top of the head. He's all bleeding down his face. It was a good one.
Yo, if you guys haven't already, please smack that like button and share this shit out. It's been a fucking blast, dude. Definitely need to come check this shit out. But yeah, I've been bit by my ball pythons. Not by nothing like that yet.
Yeah, I'm waiting to get smacked by my chondro.
that threw me the fuck off.
Every time it will. It's like, dude, and then you'll hear it, and then you're like, no, I like the way that it rolls. Took me a minute, but a green tree python. Green tree python just rolls too long, I feel like. You know, when you're ball python, you know, everything's short, and then it's like green tree python, emerald tree. But it's I like the way the conjure sounds. It makes me sound smarter, dude. It's me expressing the little knowledge that I'm absorbing from this, you know, what I can. Yeah, ball pythons. You know what's funny is the only ball python in this collection that bit somebody was my son's ball python. And when we first started getting them, we'd feed them in tubs because I was housing them young together. And I had to go do some bullshit. And I was like telling my son, like, grab him out of the tub. He's done eating. He's done. Just grab him. And I'd usually let him like almost crawl out of the tub. And I'm like, all right, you're letting it settle in your belly. I don't do that shit no more. I'm straight in the tub. I was stupid. I don't know why I was doing that. Or even housing them together to be that point. But he pulled that shit out way too soon, and that thing nailed him. And he was young, and he still has the snake. But I was like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "You all right?" And he's all bleeding on his hand, and I'm like, "Ooh, I don't want that to happen to me." I'm like, "Yeah, let's not do that again." But other than that, I have him hiss at me and do that stuff. I'm probably in it for a big bite soon, but
To be honest, I probably been bit and this is like legit, like probably about 46 times by my Melpide within like the. To be honest, I expected some kind of fucking tooth pulled from him, something. Had to take him to the vet. Nah, like he was cool, but he let me up as a baby. So it wasn't bad. It's just I was worried about his mouth. As for the other one is my caramel albino, and that's BMO, and he's just a plain out dick. Like I I have to do like magic tricks to get him to calm down, like spin his tub 3 times, fucking walk around him, grab him.
oh, dude. Yeah, most of mine are pretty mellow. Like some people I see like on the Instagram lives are like, yeah, like my breeders and they'll open them up and they strike and stuff. I guess my collection hasn't gotten big enough. I mean, I got 8 breeders, 9 breeders, and I just don't, they're not aggressive. Every single one of them I could pull out and put in my bed and watch a TV show and like, you know, they could chill and like I do that shit. I'll put them at the on top of my comforter with my girl and I, and they'll just chill. I'll give them a blanket to hide under, and they just kick it with my wiener dog. It's probably not a good. I hate when my wiener dog jumps out there, but it just all of my snakes are well mannered. I'm pretty stoked. I mean, I'm kind of, I'm kind of. That's what I tell my girl. I'm like, I want a visual pied. I don't female, and I'm like, I don't want to spend the money on it right now. But damn, I'll take a cheaper one for it to be my meanest snake I got. But I'm gonna breed her, and I'll keep her. I'll take that. I'll take that as a sacrifice. Not with that rainbow though, because that rainbow, she ain't fun.
As for the 2 pies I got visual, they're both from Ray's Reptiles, and they're visual pies 100% het orange ghost. So
Oh wow.
I got a male and a female. What's up, Bad Blood? How you doing, bro? And
Yeah, I got. I'll take. I can pull that one out. My male's pretty awesome. I've had him since a hatchling, but I call him
hello, Blue
phone
Eyes.
guy. Call him phone guy because he's got this. Damn, I'm so bad at this mushroom. Yeah, looks like a little wizard on him.
Hell yeah.
This was. I love this guy. And I'm like, that's where I'm at with this right now is like, do I put it with the normal and get hets and like try to like prove out a het back to him and stuff and just do the long game or like, I don't even know. I've been
Honestly,
really,
there's nothing wrong with hets, and that's what I'm going the route with. They are clutch mates, so I don't plan on breeding them together. People have told me I could, but I don't know. I'm gonna go and breed. The female's gonna go to my caramel albino, and then make double het right there, and then
nice.
the male I don't know yet. I might just go normal on him.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, there's so many things I want to do. But I want to keep
Yeah.
it low. I don't want to have too many snakes because I mean it's a lot of work just with the ones I got. It's work all the time.
Mm.
I mean, I like it though. It's always a chore. You know, you're always catching up on stuff and trying to figure stuff out.
Oh yeah, I love it, dude. Like just cleaning them to feeding them to holding them. I was shocked. So this actually happened last night. We have my wife's favorite snake in the room, right? Odin. He's just a plain cinnamon male, and first time in like 10 months, he hissed at me. I was like, "You son of a bitch!" I was like, I was like, "Motherfucker, I give you the best treatment. This is how you treat me on a random day." But no, he probably was all, I don't know, bummed out yesterday. But he let out a good hiss. I was like, "All right," but I still picked him up. He didn't bite me or anything, or the wife. But
That's funny. Yeah, I have a big old a lesser, and he's monster. And a couple days ago, I went from Cocoa Chip, and it's hard as hell to find here right now, like non-existent. So I went to paper towels, and he don't like that shit because I check my steaks every other day if at the late. That's like the longest I'll go. Usually I check them twice a day if I'm like on it. And there was some piss in there, and I grabbed him, and he hissed at me. I was like, "What?" But he's like, I think he's telling me I don't like this paper towel shit. Like I need some absorbance. I don't like sitting on this. And I'm just trying different stuff. But yeah, I definitely am second guessing doing paper towels in my tubs. What do you use in your tubs?
to be honest, well, I'm always honest. My bulb, the cinnamon and Minerva. So she's a pastel, 100% het clown. Those two are on actual cocoa. Everyone else is paper towel.
Yeah. And I mean, I like the paper towel, but it just doesn't absorb. But I finally am realizing, damn, they were pissed. You got to clean up. Like it. I guess it's better to do that.
It keeps you on your toes, man. It keeps you checking your ball pythons every day. I feel like it makes you less of a lazy breeder. I had this talk with somebody here recently. Sure. I think paper towels are, not saying like they might work for everybody, but they keep you on your, man, they keep you checking.
Oh yeah.
Of course, you don't want your snake crawling through its own feces and all that. And so.
Yeah, hell no. No, definitely not. Yeah, I'll show you that male to that clutch. He's all dirty.
Put you on solo.
He's all dirty right now, but that's the banana. Spectre, yellow belly, hidden gene woma.
Paper towels suck ass, HMP says.
Yeah, they're hard to handle with. I don't mind having to clean up all the time, but every time I open it, I'm like, oh well, gotta clean.
No, I like it, dude. Like I'd rather do that, and like I'm not worried about if like they piss once or like it's when it's like you could tell, but let's clean off them. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. It's just cleaning, like, and that's cool. I don't mind. That just gives me more time to spend with each snake. That's how I look at it.
That's where I'm at. I got a few more that are on Reptile Chip. I got to clean out these rainbows here in the next couple of days, and I think they're going to go on paper towels because I'm not. They have some stuff down at the reptile shop for like $40 a block, and I'm like, dude, a block will only get me like 8 rack done.
So, a question for you. You know, we were talking about morphs and all that. What is your favorite morph?
Ooh. Dude, it's crazy because I'm learning all the time, you know, messing around with stuff. So, I mean, from the beginning, Pieds are cool, but Pieds are badass. I just love just what it is. But now that I'm like, I have stuff, I really, really, I like the Enchi stuff. I like the broken up. I mean, it's just simple too. The leopards and the Enchis and the bright, vibrant. Like I'm a simple ass person. I don't even. Orange Dream. I dig Orange Dream. I don't have it, but I dig the Orange Dream. And I love to get into GHI. These are all like on different spectrum, but GHI is awesome, like the Mojave GHI.
So, have you seen the caramel albino?
Yeah. Actually, Well, the caramel, I've seen the caramel albino, and I used to have Shane has a candy ball, which they're different, but he has a candy that I had here for a little bit. That thing was beautiful.
Hmm.
But no, I haven't seen the caramel. I don't think I have.
The caramel albino? No.
No. I'm sure I've seen it, but I mean, show me. You got something? Let me see.
Yeah, that's the one that likes to tag me. So let me.
Oh yeah, let's see it. Remember the rule that you were telling me?
Rule number 1: if you're gonna get bit on camera. Try to put me on solo real quick.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
Head always has to be shown. Rule number 1: if you're gonna get bit on live stream. That's the only rule.
Yeah. Tickle your fingers in front of his face. Nah, he's fine. He seems fine. Yeah, that's awesome.
But he's pretty chill sometimes. Sometimes he's usually a jerk.
Is it usually until you get him out, or once he's out, he's like that?
No. Once you get him out, he's fine. But once you open and you pulling him out, it's the problem. Once he's out, he's good.
Yeah, here, I'll pull out. I got a female. This is my biggest. She's just a normal, but she's huge. But she's really defensive when you first try to get her out. But once you get her out, she bucks all over the place. But then once you get her out, she's huge.
Thank you, everyone.
This is kind of like my het maker, is what I'm calling this one.
Hell yeah.
Well, I was thinking about putting that pied with her, or she did. I put her with a banana last season and got some awesome bananas. But I need to get out of the normal shit, to be honest, because I don't know how far I want to go into the long term, like doing hets. And if I do hets, I probably want to do it myself, because damn. That's what I always say is like, man, it's hard to know if you're getting what they're saying unless you know them and they're reputable,
Right, but I like the power of the hets, man. I feel like hets are a good way to go. Because not everyone can afford that visual sunset, or that visual monsoon, or that visual whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, yeah. I think hets are a good way to go.
Hets are badass to get into. Yeah, especially if you're in it, that's where I'm at. Like, I got my feet wet, now I'm in. I'm like, yeah, I could do hets because I'm in it. I'm willing to, you know what I mean? I might get a head or two and just see what happens, because yeah, I'm in it. I love this shit. I'm not changing, so I don't mind doing it. You know what I mean? This is the point where I'm almost like tempted this year to be like, what do I want to do? Just to do some het, like, I'm not trying to do crazy shit for sale on Morph Market or anything, but something for myself to prove out.
So, like I said, the caramel albino I showed you is going to go to my female pied, but het 100% for Orange Ghost. So I'm because they're both, recessive. You can't have a copy of them come out, right? So they're gonna. If I'm right, they're 100% pied, 100% caramel albino, and 60 or 50 or 66% het Orange Ghost. So I'll have a triple het going on. That'd be dope.
Oh shit! Yeah, that would be crazy. I know. I forgot. I heard somebody talking about how the 66% works, and I forgot how.
Yeah, that's something like, yeah.
It was a conversation I was talked about, but yeah, I was learning that. And I'm not gonna lie, like learning it took me a minute for a while to learn like the 1.0, 0.0 or 0.1, figuring out what I remember it, which is the male.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, cool. And someone's like, I got 3.1, and I'm like, oh, all right, okay, now I understand what the fuck they're saying. Because like when you start, like I said, I'm doing this, most of it, I just started getting into like the social media recently and talking to other people and seeing other people's like posts and them selling stuff and doing that. I've just been doing it in my house, just doing it on my own like hobby, just chilling, you know. So now I'm learning a lot when I'm like, people I'm following or following me, and I'm seeing all this new stuff. I mean, that was back. I'm learned a lot now, but it's crazy to see all that. Just like I'm saying, like Chondro, like Chondro to a 1.0 double hit, this. You're like, what? What's the 1.0?
Yeah.
Like, dude, wait, hold on. Like, what? I'm confused.
It really does get complicated if you're just getting into it. It really does, like especially with
I'm getting into it now more, but
But if you're just now listening and you're like, what's a 1.0? Like that's you might want to start with like single gens, like let's go codom dominance, and that's where I started, man. Like I was super stoked when I just getting my cinnamon mel. Like I was like fucking sweet. Like I mean, I got other ones now, but like I love, I don't know, every fucking ball python I see, I'm like, I love it. It must be mine. Like,
that's how I see snakes. I'm like, how can, and I mean, I'm like, how can I work this in? Or is it just going to be my pet? Or is it, I like what it looks like. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm doing the breeding and I haven't really dipped into the morph market a ton. But I usually, this is my second clutch. My first lunch went straight to the local pet shop because they were able to be breed. Like, they were simple. It was just normal and some bananas. Now I got these like 3 gene animals, but I could still get away with probably selling them to her where I want to sell them, and I don't have to deal with shipping them and doing that, or keep them for myself. Like I kind of like selling stuff that I know I could get rid of fast, and people are gonna buy them for their pets, and not they might not necessarily be where we're at when they're buying them from the pet shop. They're buying them for their pet. They don't care what they're headed from. You know what I'm saying? And I have I have a full-time job, and I'm not trying to make a huge profit off it now because I know what I have ain't gonna produce that. You know what I mean? It's more like a hobby thing, and I'm keeping what I want to keep and getting rid of what I want. But I know the snakes that I'm getting rid of are healthy, and someone's gonna have a cool ass snake that they're probably not gonna breed, but it's not a het. Or that's what I was telling a buddy. It's like a kid goes to the reptile store. They've been doing all their homework or whatever. They go down and their parents are going to buy them a ball python. All they have that looks normal is het for clown. That parent is not going to understand that they heard that they could buy a normal ball python for $85. And now you're telling me that this is a normal, but it's het clown. Well, what does that mean? Well, when you put it with the clowner, it has the secret gene, and they're like, well, this kid is just gonna have it in his enclosure. Is the secret gene gonna like pop out one day, and is it gonna change colors? These parents don't know what the hell's going on. So I like to give them like a visual. That's why I like the pastels. I like the bananas, because when people want to go buy a snake, they're like, I don't want a normal, but I can't afford this badass like snake up above here, this super ranchy, super pastel. That's not even super crazy, but in a pet shop, something that's way higher. And I want kids to be able to get that. I don't know. I know there's a lot of people that do that already, but I don't want to be like a big box place to do it. I want them to get like mom and pop visual snakes that are affordable. That's my thing. No. I ain't even. And one day I'll get my visual pied and have pieds. I don't know where the hell I'm gonna sell them. I'll probably keep every single one of them because I love pied so much. It'll take a long time, but I still want to be able to do what I love and still know I could get rid of them, and they're gonna be affordable for somebody to have as a pet to enjoy, like I enjoy them. Like I enjoy them.
Hell yeah. That's badass, man. Like nothing wrong with that. Like we're all in it for one reason or another, and at the end of the day, if it's about making money, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. If it's about being a hobbyist, there's nothing wrong with that either. As long as you're happy doing doing what you're doing, that's all that matters.
And that's where I'm at, is like I make good money and stuff, but I keep my hobby affordable so I could have other hobbies. So I'm not going to go crazy on it, right? You know what I mean? Because to the respect, like the people with good reputations that have those high-end snakes, they probably get rid of them easy. They got the community, they have a reputation. I'm just some dude from Southern Oregon. It wouldn't matter if I had a badass like combo and a badass snake. I'm gonna be looked over. Probably. Like you got to have a reputation. I guess you got to build that. But I'm like, how far do I want to take that in my hobby of me just enjoying my snakes every day? Do I want to compete, or do I just want to do what I love and be able to offer what I create to other people to enjoy without having to spend an arm and a leg because there ain't breeding. Not everybody's breeding. You know, there's kids that are just wanting a ball python because they're puppy dog friendly.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I get it. Like, there's gonna be people out there that just want one, and that's it.
And maybe want two, but maybe never breed, but just they want visuals. But it sucks when you're out of that game because people are like, well, I bred this and this is this morph. It costs this much. And you're like, man, I just want a cool ass looking snake. I look at it as a kid when every time I go into the shop, I'm like, you know, a kid goes in there, like I said, they're like being, you know, they want to buy a snake and everything's out of their price range because everything's being sold as the next breeder. Sometimes I feel like, you know what I mean? Instead of just being like,
Yeah.
damn, that's a badass snake. And I know it takes a lot of work to get him, but I'm not even talking high end shit like low ball it so you ain't making money. I'm talking even on the quality that I'm doing. Sometimes it's crazy how they'll like make it hell of expensive and out of your range. And it's like, well, because it's a female and you know what this could produce. And they're like, well, shit,
Well,
you know, to a normal person.
not just that, but like, you know, even if, like you said, a teenager wants one, he buys one. You just inspired somebody that wanted a snake to get more into reptiles, hopefully,
And
and
appreciate to pets, you know, just
yeah,
animals in general and everything.
and
Responsibility.
it adds a lot to the. It does, and you know, you might turn that person to the next big breeder. Like, you might like spark something inside them, and they might become some reptile legend. Like,
I don't know about all that, but
no,
yeah, I
I mean,
mean,
it's possible. It's possible. Like, you just
it
gotta,
could
as long
start
as you're
with it
doing
could
you.
start with the banana. It could start with the banana. It could start with the pastel. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna be huge, but man, I got my feet wet, and I'm so stoked because I started with a normal female and a banana male. I did my first clutch, and I got 8 eggs. I got 5 normals, and I got 3 banger ass looking little bananas, and it was fucking
Yeah.
awesome. Like I was like, all right, cool. Like, and then my second one had the 3 genes, and I'm like, right on. Now I'm like, well, what do I really want to do? I know I could do it now, but I still don't want to get out of the realm that I'm breeding these snakes, and I don't have any reputation on Morph Market, and I'm still just doing this as a hobby. But you got to get rid
Yeah.
of the things. You got to still get rid of your, you know, the snakes, and they got to be fed.
Like, to be honest, like, I've said this on my live streams before. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm not worried about making money off the ball pythons. YouTube, doing content videos, going live. Yeah, do I want to be monetized? You're goddamn right. I want to be monetized. Selling snakes, when it comes down to it, this is how I look at it. Like, you have to be your best salesman, because if you can't sell a fucking anything, good luck.
Oh yeah,
You
definitely.
you better be your best damn salesman. And
That's where I'm at. I could never be a pot dealer when I was growing up, dude. I was too nice. So I'm in this hobby, and I like I like growing snakes. That's why I have to like structure myself in this way because I'm growing up, and I'm like, dude, if I started, I would be shooting myself in the foot even worse. I mean, right now I'm not losing much when I, you know, with bananas and suit or like pastels. But if somebody came up and I heard a story in the reptile shop about some shit, I'd be like, hey, let me change your day. You know what I mean? Like, because I want to give you that experience. Like, I know where I'm at with it. Like, that's why with me with high end stuff, it's like I love to do it, and that shit's the most badass stuff. But can I breed it and sell it right away and get what it's worth, or should I just stick with the hobby? You know?
right there, that just like you said, and just like
Yeah.
that comment right there, like, I agree. Like, once again, I go live every night. I fucking put up content. Like, I'm pushing for monetization to make money off YouTube, but I'm not worried about selling snakes. See, that's where everyone's like, oh, well, you know, morph markets ran, and I get it. You got Justin Kambelka, you get, you know, Miguel and all that. And like, that's cool. Like, good for them. Like, they made their fucking names. Good for them. I don't plan on killing it nationwide. If I plan on selling them, it'll be locally. I'd rather see some kid around me get into reptiles and be like, wow, this is fascinating. I want to get more into it. I want to learn more. I want to, you know, get educated.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather see that than my snake, no offense, go to a breeder. I'd
Yeah.
rather get more people. Like, that's just how I feel. Like, some people might hate that, some people might like that. That's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's the truth. That's definitely how I feel about it for sure. I definitely would rather like educate people and get people not to be scared of snakes. And if that means I'm the low end breeder that sells them so that they're affordable for somebody to have one and enjoy it, that's me, I guess. And you know what? If I were to do the high end snake, like I said, I'd probably keep them for myself anyways because they're more value as pets and an enjoyment to me than they would to be. You know what I mean? If I got a super high end snake, yeah, maybe I'd breed it once, but then you learn real soon if you're not getting rid of them fast and you're still feeding them, and it's your hot. You know what I mean? You have to make choices. Like, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. Every single snake has to be fed, and that's where it's like that shit adds up. It doesn't matter how
It,
much your snake's worth. Your snake can be worth $700, but dude, I guarantee you, if you keep it for a couple of years, you're doubled in with food. And we're not talking
oh,
bedding. So I
yeah, we're
mean,
not.
you'll never get back what they're worth. You'll never get back what they're worth, and that's in my opinion. That's why I just keep it as. And some people maybe they think it's different. Maybe they think differently. But for me to keep it a hobby, have my job, still do the things I do, and like live my life and still have it, I can't see myself getting too far deep in it just to be able to say I have something heavy. Because I don't give a
See,
fuck what I don't give a
I,
fuck what people care that I have because it's my reptile room. I do social media because it's fun, but I don't really care what people think if I have single genes or I do that single shit. I have the snakes; they're all fed and well taken care of, and that's what I do. That's what I like. That's what I'm into. If I wanted to go big, then I would be dedicating it towards this and taking it away from something else, and I don't want to do that right now. So the
yeah,
snakes I have are so taken care of, fed good, taken care of, and that's where the balance. My ecosystem's pretty fucking balanced. It'd be stupid for me not to, keep it going.
yeah.
Because like I say, all my snakes, even if I stop breeding today, every single one of my snakes are pets. They're snakes that I could pull out and I can mess with and enjoy, and there's no big deal.
Yeah, dude. My big thing, like, we're all in it for a reason. I'd
Yeah.
rather. And there's gonna be no negativity on the BPL show. It's all gonna be positive, and same in person. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna give you the fake BPL. You're gonna get the real David. Like, that's my real name. Like, that's just how it is. And I sorry to say it this way, or not you, but for everybody, like it or don't, like, but for me, just like you for you, like, and
Yeah, everyone has
I,
their own shit.
yeah, dude, and that's what makes it really cool is like you said, everyone has their own reptile room. Like, you may have the same number of reptiles or ball
Or
pythons in
less,
general
or whatever.
or
Yeah,
less, but you're gonna have a different, even if they have it, you still have different from them.
yeah, everything's different. Everything changes. Everything does. It's different things. It's crazy. And like I
Yep.
said, like you're live with me. You see it behind me, but you're not here every day, and I'm not in yours. I don't see it. So it's like the enjoyment it gives you when no one's watching. No, but that's where gives you the passion to do what you're doing right now, live, to talk about it because the fuel is in doing it when no one's looking, and you're like, dude, I fucking dig this. Is my hobby. Like, you don't have to clean
Yeah.
your snake room because you're live. What you're doing is what fuels your YouTube. You're like, I need more of this, but I don't want to sit it. There's nothing to do, or I don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm gonna go, let's do YouTube because it's a fuels everything else. And it
It
feels, dude,
does.
this is like my therapy. Like waking up, like I said, like 2 or 3 days ago, I lost my veiled chameleon. She got egg bound and passed away. It was fucking horrible. And I was like, I had that enclosure that's sitting up here, and I was like, dude, I can't take it down. It's like part of the reptile room. I got the pothos growing around it, pothos growing in it. It's just awesome. It sits on top of my rack, and I'm like, ah. And then today I went and picked up a male. He's like this big. He's just like a little hatchling. And I'm like, dude, and then my buddy's like, man, you moved on fast. I'm like, it's not even about moving on. It's like I wake up in the morning, I come into this room, I missed that chameleon. I missed it. and I make sure that the humidifier is going. That's my chore, but I like it. But it keeps me rolling. Like that's my coffee. Like I drink
Oh,
coffee, but you know what I mean. It's a routine. I
right.
don't. I couldn't leave to go to work in the morning without coming in here and pulling a couple tubs or checking every single one. Spray here, do this, check this, turn the humidifier.
Every
It's like turned
morning.
into such a habit that I gotta just do it. And if one thing, it's so weird now. I'm like crazy OCD because if now these last 3 days I come in here and I'm like looking for my chameleon because it's like she's my little mascot watching over me while I'm doing shit. Like, you know what I mean? I like those eyes on me. And now I'm like, this is weird. Nothing's up there. I can't see it, you know. And I'm like, nah, this. I don't want to take it down. I'm gonna go grab another little veiled chameleon and a male this time, so I don't have to deal with it. Because female chameleons, everyone told me, but I'm like, no, I'll deal with it when it happens. But it's devastating if it happens. It
I believe
sucks.
you, man. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. So
Yeah,
is Keith Victor's.
yeah, it's a bummer. And I mean, and I'm like, man, I wish there's more I could do. And all my friends are like, dude, chameleons are pains in the fucking ass. Like female veiled, so they're horrible when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, but
You
lesson
gotta
learned.
you gotta have humidity with them though, perfect, right?
Oh,
Like
I
it has.
all that. It was all good. All that's good. It's just the they lay eggs like a chicken. Like they'll lay like 3 clutches infertile a year, and it takes a lot out of them. And sometimes they'll egg bound. Like I don't know the whole thing with it, but female chameleons have trouble like giving in, like producing eggs. It takes out so much of them, and I mean the humidity. I miss her twice a day. She has a fogger on, like everything of that. She was in good health, but I just, damn, like I wish I had a perfect example or like perfect explanation, but everyone I've talked to goes that happens. Like I didn't even have to explain too much of like, yep, female chameleons do that. Like that shit happens. I'm like, wait, no, 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 no. Don't just say that to like make me feel good. And I'm like, I need an explanation. Like they're like, no, it's hard for them. It takes so much out of them. And she had laid 12 eggs the night before, and I thought she was done. She went up high and was just chilling, seemed normal. And then the next morning, I woke up. She's on the bottom of the enclosure with a couple eggs around her, and there she's just lifeless. And I'm like, oh,
That's shitty,
this,
bro. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah. If you go on my Instagram, I have some badass videos of her and some cool ass pictures of her. Though she was a badass chameleon.
Well, sadly, I'm shocked I didn't find you before knowing Shane and then knowing H&P. Like, I should have found you quite a while ago, but I guess everything happens for a certain time for a certain reason. And
I
sorry,
just
Keys, that
recently.
you.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say sorry, Keys. He said he woke up a couple months ago, cried, found a snake dead. Dude, that sucks.
Yeah,
It
that's no
had
fun.
like.
It's
Sorry to hear
heartbreaking.
that, man.
It's like waking
Finally
up and
got the custom URL. Drop that shit. Drop the custom URL. Oh, there it is. Keys constrictors. Bam. It's official.
oh no. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. We got to get you doing more YouTube videos and all that. Like,
Yeah, man. I gotta get going here shortly, but yeah, we should definitely get together. I'm down. I
okay.
was thinking about starting up on my YouTube too, but we should get down definitely again. Talk some more. I dig it.
All right. So I'm going to end it here. Don't leave, though. I want to play the outro and then, or intro, whatever, and then we'll talk real quick.
All right, cool.
Later, everyone. I am Ball Python
See you
Love.
guys.
That is Breed Love Reptiles. Thanks for hanging out. Until next time, we got that shit. It's fucking over.